We know who you're into it with. We're just gonna try to act like we don't know.
Like the city is into the city, bro. I don't give a what you is. You from that block, yo. You riding with them, you get spank with them, you feel me?
Y'all scared of me, man. Y'all scared of me. On my son, y'all scared of me. Stop trying to make these fans think y'all that. On COD, your money ain't no 757, ain't no Opps that's into me at all, man. They scared of me, man. They scared of me, man. On COD, they ducking they. I want to see who I'm into it with. Why I don't know who I'm into it with, though. I've been big too up. Scared of me. On my son, they scared of me.
That's why the back door be open for a lot of these niggas. They be thinking everything be cool, lollygagging, you going over this set. You ain't had no business being over there anyway. Be with who you grew up with. Be who you know what I'm saying? The thing about me, a nigga gonna respect me in my presence. That's all that matters. What's up? What we doing? We into it or we squashing? We coming? Like, I'm gonna take them chances because I know how I'm coming. You feel me? I'm with all that. This shit ain't just about the low end, the south side of me and my ops, bro. You know what I'm saying? Catch me and do what they do, which it ain't gonna happen. It ain't nothing to be bragging on, but I don't get caught like it, man. It happen to anybody.
You shot straight, but you shot late. High 11. This is the Rundown Podcast.
I'm gonna give you the rundown. I'm gonna give you the rundown.
Say, man, hey, man, it's OG Jucario. Now, back at you with another one, just like the other one. And THF Bayzoo's killers have not been caught as of yet, and a new angle was released of his shooting there at that LKQ Picky Park in Little Village. Now, check it out. Run it. Now, this new angle gives us more insight, and, you know, all we could do is speculate from the first view of the video showing the shooting that they showed us. We didn't see them pulling up. All we seen was them running into the picture, into the camera footage, where Zoo was headed to his vehicle, looking at some papers that was in his hand from the obvious parts that he had just purchased from this salvage yard. That he went and got these parts for his girlfriend's car, now that we're finding out more information. Now, when Zoo was not paying attention, walking up out of that building, right, looking at those papers, they didn't, pull up on Zoo when he first walked out the door, because he possibly would have seen these guys. It wasn't like these guys was just passing by, riding by the PQ part, right, the LKQ junkyard, salvage yard there, just randomly and seen Zoo. Nah. These guys waited to the perfect time when they obviously seen Zoo was not paying attention, right? And the other guys who was right there with him, as a fact, they weren't looking too. Okay, so then you got the two other guys up under a hood there of a vehicle, and they're fixing the vehicle or looking at a vehicle or something. So this is 4 bystanders and Zoo, right? And these guys obviously had already peeped this out, because they obviously either had to be waiting there because he was already there, as we know from reports that he was there for an hour. You know, it takes time to pull these parts off these salvaged vehicles, right? Especially, depending on what type of part and how difficult it is to get to that part under that hood. So anyway, man, he was already there. So, somebody could have easily seen him, called in an employee, could have seen him, however, that got out that kind of way. Now, or it could be like many are speculating, since he rode in an Uber there to the junkyard to go get the parts. And if these guys were already following him on his bumper that day, right, once they got the low where he stayed at or where he was ever, at that day, that they knew where he was at, and they followed him in that Uber when he took it to this junkyard. They said he was there for an hour, so that means that the shooting happened around 3, so that means that they had already been there waiting on him for an hour to come out and get in this Uber, right? If that's the, actual way that they tracked him down that day, right? So that means they had to been following him for a little while, you know what I'm saying? Because not only did they have to wait for an hour, they waited to the perfect time when he was coming out the building to orchestrate this whole shooting. And as I mentioned, in this new footage, you can see the vehicle pull up. You know, these shooters, they jump out. One of them with the Draco, the other one, whatever, you know, weapon he had. But you know that was a Draco in the Nike Tech shooter's hand for shit show, right? And they said Zoo was hit 7 times, 2 in the head, 2 in the abdomen, and 3 in the back, as the reports are saying. And we can definitely see that, you know, nobody was really paying attention, and they took advantage of that. It's like they were already hawking the scene, and that they seen that this was the perfect time. But they did see the Hispanic man who was, you know, right there watching everything go down. They didn't even, you know, pay no attention to him. They weren't studying him, right? They went straight for Zoo once they seen that Zoo was not paying attention. And Zoo even said this in a No Jumper interview, you know, 2 years back in 2023 of October when it premiered on YouTube. He said that it can happen in the blink of an eye, you know, when you're not looking, right? You don't see them and they see you, and it's over with. That's just exactly to the T of how it went.
I don't get no fuck who don't like what I'm on. This is what I'm on. You know what I'm saying? And I'm standing on that shit with an iron fist. If a motherfucker catch me and do what they do, which it ain't gonna happen, I'm too advanced for these niggas. I sit and watch how these niggas lose their life. There ain't nothing to be bragging on, but these niggas flunkies to me, gang. Like, they ain't built for this shit. Like, I don't get caught lacking, man. Any shit can happen to anybody, blood. A blink of eye, you turn your head 1 second, man, the wrong move, motherfucker see you, you don't see them, it can happen, gang. Don't surround yourself in certain environments, you ain't gotta worry about that shit. I'm too much worried about one of my own snaking me out before I let a goofy get up on me, gang. That's just how I look at life, you feel me? Like, can't no nigga think farther than me, man. I real life do this shit, bro, you feel me?
Now, the crazy thing about that, man, that's real spooky, that how he described that shooting and, you know, how it could possibly go down. Now, this is 2 years prior, right, to him being gunned down there at that salvage yard. You know, he kind of basically, you know, spoke it into existence. Because THF Bayzoo never had a chance, man, if you really think about it. He was caught totally off guard. He's catching an Uber, right? You got other people around you. You think it's a safe environment, right? Nobody's going to, you know, involve nobody else in, you know, my death, or if they try to get me. Well, as we've seen, that's not how it played out, because obviously these guys had a job to do. They didn't give a damn who else wasn't working that day, right? And they was on THF Bayzoo, right? Like the last meal of the day, okay? And these guys was hungry. Obviously, this was a hit. This was, you know, something that was, you know, definitely personal. As I can tell, you know, the guy, he kept just, you know, shooting and shooting and shooting. And for Bayzoo, only had got hit 7 times, right? You know, you would think he would have got hit more times than that. But as we heard, you know, from the alleged medical examiner on how many times he was, you know, struck with that gunfire, you know, it was only 7. But yeah, man, it was just sad, man, to see that, you know, these guys obviously, you know, they had them in, you know, their sights for a while up until the point where they jumped out of that vehicle on this new angle. Now, I want to address a rumor that was going around with the murder vehicle, right? This vehicle that they jumped out of. A lot of people were saying that it was found at the airport. Nah, that's not true. You can do a search on that, you know, Google it. So look it up, man. There's no vehicle from this homicide ever being found yet. So I don't know where they got that from, you know, but a lot of things, you know, get misconstrued and misinformation gets spread on the internet a lot. So I just wanted to clear that up. No vehicle from this homicide has been recovered as of yet. Now, in this viral clip of THF Bayzoo saying that he'll never get caught lacking, right, by no goofies. He's always on point, right, and things of that nature. You know, everybody's sharing this now, being that, you know, Zoo was definitely caught lacking and he was out of bounds. He was somewhere where they say he wasn't supposed to be at. And this is why people were saying somebody dropped the low on him and things of that nature. And like I just went through the information, which he caught a Uber there. He was already there an hour. So, you know, this would seem as if, you know, somebody did call and say, hey, you know, he's up here, you know, get up here as fast as you can. And possibly already had eyes on him before the shooters got there, allegedly.
We know who you're into it with. We're just going to try to act like we don't know.
It's set tripping. Now, I ain't talking about woman to it. I'm talking about the general, like, they act like it's a GDBD war that's just big as hell. Like, yeah, it was once upon a time, bro, but like the city is into the city, bro. I don't give no fuck what you is. You from that block, your ass, you riding with them, you get your ass spanked with them, you feel me? Niggas is out there getting killed guilty by association. Yeah. Niggas getting killed, probably going serving a motherfucker some weed, don't even know a nigga. All he know dude, he getting in for dude, and we gonna make them feel the whole time they find out later on. The thing about me, a nigga gonna respect me in my presence, that's all that matters, you know what I'm saying? I don't give no fuck what them nigga think about me. A nigga ain't gonna, as long as a nigga don't come no corners and bring that shit my way, you can go and keep it moving. I'm gonna reciprocate the same energy you give me, you feel me? I ain't never been with the friendly shit like I'm more type of a nigga. I'm taking sacrifices. You feel me? I get off the band. I pull up on niggas block. What's up? What we doing? We into it or we squashing this shit? How we coming? Like, I'm gonna take them chances because I know how I'm coming. You feel me? Half of them niggas ain't finna pull up on no motherfucker block and stand on shit. They just following the lead. One nigga doing it, everybody else wanna follow suit, bro. I ain't no following ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? But I'm with all that shit, bro. Like, we pushing peace. However, like, I'm seeing this shit going slowly for shorty, but I want to bring my city back where it used to be when I was coming up having fun. Like I told y'all, what I want to do with the youth. You know what I'm saying? I want to start the little baseball teams. You know what I'm saying? Like 12, I know they probably smoking weed and probably picked up their first gun. I can try to help, but like, I know I'm a major influence in my city, bro. So like, this shit ain't just about the low end, the south side of me and my ops, bro. You know what I'm saying? This what in, motherfucker, bro. Like, I don't get no fuck who don't like what I'm on. This is what I'm on. You know what I'm saying? And I'm standing on that shit with an iron fist.
The THFOG, Bayzoo, man, he was at a point, it seemed like, you know, that I got from that interview of him speaking on No Jumper. He was trying to push the peace, right? But he was saying that, you know, a lot of people wasn't with that, man. You know, a lot of them weren't trying to hear no peace, man. It's been bloodshed, man. You know, once blood gets shed, you know, nobody's going to be forgiven. Right, it's all out war, and for life is, you know, gonna be beef, right? Until, you know, we all extinct, possibly from this beef, and it's all about who gonna win the war, man. It's all about who gonna last, right? When you dealing with these street gangs and things of that nature, when there's blood behind it, right? So no matter, you know, if Bayzoo, my point is, even if he did want to push the peace at this age he had, you know, he ready to start, you know, getting out of it, but you can't get out of it because, like I just said, blood has been shed. So it's blood in, blood out, basically. And that was, you know, the turning point, I feel like, where Zoo kind of got laxed a little bit, thinking since he was older, he knows how to move. You know, as he stated that, you know, he was too advanced for these niggas. But, you know, he's sitting back watching how people get killed, and he's thinking to himself that he's smart enough not to become a victim, just like these other people who are getting slid on by the opposition. And unfortunately, that cost Zoo his life at that very moment for not taking that day that serious, right? With, you know, security and being discreet about things, not being seen, for one. That's the obvious thing. You can't be seen nowhere in public, right, by civilians, to notify the ops possibly where your whereabouts are at. Now, many are left wondering, well, why was THF Bayzoo even at a junkyard looking for car parts anyway? He was just on live almost a month before the incident took place, showing, you know, stacks of cash, right? Because people was trolling him, saying that, you know, he's now back in Chicago in the hood. He's broke. You know, he's effed up because Dirk, the OTF leader, is now locked up on a conspiracy for murder charges and things of that nature. So, you know, to a lot of people, they were trolling these guys, saying that they had fell off because of Dirk. You know, he's fell off, so the guys couldn't be doing too well, is what many speculated. So, you know, THF Bayzoo was responding by showing all his cash.
Yeah, man, I usually don't do this shit. You already know how I'm coming, though, man. Niggas say I'm out here in the trenches, tank top on. You don't have to put the tank on for their ass, you know? Got that tank top wearing off, huh, bitch? Broke ass niggas. I don't even pop it like this. I ain't popping enough, you hear me? I ain't ducking shit but the feds and death, you hear me? You know what the fuck going on, man.
And many people felt like, well, if he had all that cash, why was he even out of salvage, y'all? He could have just bought the part brand new. Well, sometimes it depends on what kind of car you got, right? You can't just go out and buy a part brand new depending on if that part is available or not at that time. So maybe that could explain why he had to go that route to get the part. But anyway, nevertheless, this was the wrong move, because he could have easily got somebody else to go get that part that day, right? Ordered the part and, had it dropped off at the house or whatever, Just can't go out there in the war and you're the general, right? You're the chief. And if you the chief, you got to be sure that, you protecting your life, right? And not only are you protecting your life, you got to have others to protect your life when you are out there in the public, especially if you're on the interview saying the things that, Bayzoo was saying, man. And just like he said, you can turn your head this way and they can see you and you not see them, and it's over with. That's the same exact thing that took place, man. And, it's just eerie that he explained it like that, because that's exactly how we seen it play out, unfortunately. And with THF Bayzoo being Muslim, we had the funeral of Bayzoo taking place within that third day, right, that they had by law of the Muslim law there to bury, their brother, the family. And he gave a interview with DJU, giving the specifics of when he had to bury his little brother. And it was very, very, heartbreaking, man, that, this man had to go through this. And it was traumatizing, being that it was his little brother, right? He tells a story that his little brother had accidentally inflicted a gunshot wound to himself that he eventually had passed away from. And THF Bayzoo was saying that, he had already dealt with this type of, situation with death and, seen it for himself. He had to clean the body, wash the body of his little brother, as being that this is a practice that is done within the Muslim faith, as I was checking and researching out. So, yeah, man, it's crazy that he had to go through all that, seeing this type of death right there in front of him. And then he ended up having to, get a quick glimpse of death right before it happened to him.
Yeah.
And Gutter passed away.
May 24th, 2011.
Okay.
For sure.
How old were you at that point?
Well, how old? Like 21? Yeah, I was like 21.
Oh, how old was he? I'm sorry.
17. Yeah, like 17.
17.
Yeah.
Okay. And how did that affect you?
It fucked me up mentally, like physically and emotionally. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's something I had to cope with. Like, that was my first time experiencing, like, you know what I'm saying, by me being the hard out of the family. We all Muslim or whatever, so, you know what I'm saying, you got to bury them within a certain time or whatever. So, he was in the house, the gun accidentally went off and shot him in the head or whatever, you know what I'm saying? That's how he passed away. So, like, wasn't nobody in my family, as far as the immediate family, who was strong enough to bathe them and wash them up and get them prepared for the services or whatever. So, like, that experience stuck with me for the rest of my life. Like, I never experienced doing all that shit myself, but I had to get him out of the freezer at the morgue and wash the blood out his dress and shit. Put cotton swabs where the bullet hole came, the entrance and the out. Like, I had to wash him up. Like, I had to experience it, man. My right hand man, got it. You know what I'm saying? We bathed little bro up and shit, got him together for his services or whatever. So me just experiencing that's when I let everything out. Like, at the services, I had to be strong for the family. Like, I still feel like right now to this day, I ain't mourn how I supposed to mourn. You feel me? But like, it all came up out of me that day when I had to bathe him and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't never experienced no shit like that, like up close and personal. Seeing his brains hanging out his head, pushing the meat back in his skull and shit, like that shit fucked me up mentally for real. Like, yeah, it was deep, man. Yeah. But that's like, that was one of the deepest experiences I experienced up close and personal. You know what I'm saying? Burying my little brother. Then
who knows why Zoo felt the way that he felt, but clearly, I think after his little brother's death, right, that kind of prepared him for death, if that kind of makes sense, because looking at death, having to prepare, his little brother's body for that burial, right, staring at death in the eye, studying it, right, embodying the whole experience of being around death, probably numbed Zoo to the point where, from that point on, right, that would turn into him feeling that type of way when he was expressing himself on No Jumper about, you know, not letting nobody get up on him. And, you know, even if they did, you know, he knew what would happen, okay? Because he knows that, you know, obviously, whatever allegedly in his past could come back to play a part in his death. But y'all get in the comment section, man, and y'all let me know what y'all think about this entire situation. And until the next time, this is OG Jucario TV with the latest in rap, hip-hop, celebrity, and urban news. You're watching the Rundown Podcast. I appreciate everybody for spending with me. I appreciate all my subscribers for sliding with your boy every time. And say, man, hey, man, keep hitting that like button, keep hitting that subscribe button, and look, turn on post notification so we can slide whenever I get the drop. You already know what it is, man. It's deeper than Buddha, her, you hear me? And guess what? I'm gone.